There's a saying that no plan survives first contact with reality, and that couldn't be more true when you're a solo filmmaker. In this video, I want to share 3 tough but eye-opening lessons that I learned while filming my latest short film, Finding Sunset. These are things that I wish I had known earlier, and they'll definitely help you out if you're planning for your next shoot. If you haven't seen the short film yet, I will leave a link in the description. I highly recommend you check it out to get the most out of this video. Let's get into it. Lesson 1. You can never over-prepare, but you can easily under-prepare. As a solo filmmaker, pre-production and planning are key. I thought I had everything covered. I did a full breakdown of the film, had 3 to 4 script revisions, met with the actors, talked wardrobe, hair, makeup, shot list, mood board, call sheets, you name it. I even had a gear and prop list ready. But despite all of that, I still faced problems. Like this one. I was missing a screw adapter for the boom microphone, and I realized it just 5 minutes before the actors were scheduled to show up. Yeah, I was panicking. Another thing that I didn't consider was how I visualized the characters sitting away from the sun when they're supposed to be taking in the sunset. I thought it made sense, but when Jacob, who plays Eli, pointed it out, I had no answer. I'll talk more about this and how we overcame it in lesson number 2. But the key takeaway for the first lesson is that no matter how much you plan, there are details that you'll likely overlook. So over-prepare as much as you can to be ready for the unexpected. Lesson number 2. Be open-minded and collaborative. Early on in my filmmaking journey, I would have these specific ideas on how the scene should look and how shots should be filmed. And I was pretty set on it. Well, filmmaking is supposed to be a collaborative effort. And oftentimes, when you're open to the ideas of other people, your films turn out so much better. For example, when we were discussing wardrobe for Ellis, who plays Clara, I was certain that a navy sweater would be best, but thankfully she brought a flower pattern sweater as well, and she felt that that would be more fitting for the character, and she was right. And I'm so glad she brought it. It looked great on camera and really brought the character to life. This openness to ideas leads to trust. Trust between you, the cast, and the crew, which is so important on set. Jacob also came up with this great idea to solve the blocking issue I mentioned earlier. Blocking, for anyone who's unfamiliar with the term, is the arrangement and movement of actors in a scene. So Jacob suggested that Ellis face the sun while he would sit away from it. I wish I could claim credit for this idea, but that was all Jacob. And actually, it added so much detail to the scene. The visual contrast mirrored their emotional states. Clara, who is positive and hopeful, is facing the sun, while Eli, who is struggling, is turned away. That also affected lighting and color. Clara had a warm hue and Eli would be in cold shadows. It's moments like this that prove how important it is to stay open to others' input. And it makes the process a lot more fun and rewarding. Lesson number 3. Be able to adapt. Now, no matter how much you prepare, things will change, and you need to be able to think on your feet. When Jacob suggested his idea, my shot list had to be changed. I had to quickly rethink everything since I had planned the shots with both of them sitting away from the sun. We were also racing against the sunset, and I needed to make sure that we captured everything before it got too dark. So to adapt, I decided to go handheld for a scene that I originally planned to shoot on a tripod. Going handheld gave me much more flexibility to capture different angles and move quickly. Being adaptable isn't always easy, but it's a crucial skill, especially if you're a solo filmmaker. And here's a bonus tip for you. No matter how stressed or rushed you feel, try your best not to show it. As the director, people will take cues from you. And if you're stressed, they'll pick up on it. And that will affect the crew, which will affect the atmosphere on set, and that definitely will not help the actors. I found that the best thing I can do in these moments is to just take a moment, breathe, relax, and stay focused with my energy. In the end, we're all doing this because we love it, and that's what's most important. If I could go back in time and tell my past self something, I'd say, be prepared, stay open, be adaptable, and above all, enjoy the process. Filmmaking is a journey, and it can be challenging, but it can also be incredibly rewarding. Let me know in the comments below some of the filmmaking lessons that you've learned in your journey. I'd love to hear them. And if you haven't already, subscribe to stay updated. I've got more behind the scenes content coming, as well as a horror short film on the way. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you on the next one.